Hello fellow modelers and styling fanatics, welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone is doing fine and enjoys the hobby. Concrete Bunker is back again today with another one of its notorious episodes. On today's episode, we continue with part 5 of our deadly 88 build, which is none other than the Tamiya Flak 36/37 with kit number 35017 in 1/35 scale. Now, on what do we have on today's episode? So on today's episode, me and Past George kinda fail on applying the winter wash camo that we had in mind, but that's okay. That's what I think for the time being. I think that we have failed on the application, but I need your opinion, guys, and be honest with me. Either way, we're gonna press forward with the build. We may be able to fix it or improve it, but it's not that it is nothing serious, or it is, to be honest with you, it is not so tragic. But anyway, it's not exactly what I envisioned, and it kinda bugs me. Anyway, twice, triple now. We're gonna press forward with a build because that's what we do. No self queens in Concrete Bunker. This is going to be a finished build, and you guys all know the drill. Grab a seat, make yourselves comfortable, crack the mandatory cold one or a hot brew, and let's see what you guys don't need to do in order to have a good winter whitewash. Okay guys, looks like we have made it to part number 5 of our deadly 88 project, and it is the time that I need to paint this thing. To be honest with you guys, I was not so eager to paint it, mainly because it has the whole build is consisted from tiny and fragile detail parts, which means that for guys like me, a heuristic user, it is a little bit challenging and a little bit, how can I tell it, hectic. But anyway, I will of course proceed with the painting stage. It might take some time to do, but I will do it. So what are we opting for? Let's see our choices. Give me a moment. Okay. So according to instructions, we have 3 different camo schemes. First is this one, consisted from dark yellow and dark green. It is deployed in the eastern front. Second is the winter camouflage painting, consisted from dark grey and winter white. And third, but not least, is camo from North Africa, consisted from dark yellow and red brown. Now, I was asked by one of my viewers, none other than Paul Kelly, aka Paul's Workbench. If you guys are not familiar with Paulie, I have shouted him out many times in the past. I'm gonna do it again. I will leave a link to his channel in my description below. Please go and check him out. It is well worth your time. He has many great information and knowledge to share, and he currently builds an awesome diorama. So he asked me to do the winter camouflage pattern if possible. at that time I haven't thought it well, you know, I haven't decided if I want which one of these three camo patterns I would like to do. So I said, hey, hell yeah, why not? Which is not a problem if you ask me, but anyway. So we are going to proceed with this one. What that means? That means that I will need to paint the majority. I will need to paint everything in dark gray. Then I will need to apply several coats of hairspray, because I'm gonna use the hairspray chipping technique. And then finally, when the hairspray is on, I will have to apply 1 or 2 coats of white with a rattle can spray. So what are we gonna do? What's our first step? Our first step, of course, is to remove the road wheels, because I don't want to paint the rubber part of the road wheels. Disassemble the whole thing, disassemble, you know, make it, break it in pieces. I don't know in how many pieces I am going to break it, but I am going to try to break it in as many pieces as possible, and start applying the dark gray camo pattern. So I will immediately start with that. So things are broken down to individual sub-assemblies, okay, quote unquote individual sub-assemblies. Anyway, I have broken the 88 down in components. I haven't managed to break it furthermore. And we have, let's talk about it. What we have in front of us, we have the base. That's how I am gonna call it. You know, the spindle that the gun operates, the spindle that the gun operates here, okay. We have the main gun itself together with the shield. As you can see, I opted to place the shield in open position. I can alter its position and close it by toying with this level over here. As you can see, it is fully movable. It was fully movable. Okay. So let's leave this aside as well. Let's leave this aside safely. Okay. You can stand here, you can stand here. My workbench is cluttered. I removed the rims from the wheels. Here, over here in the back we have the wheels, so here we have the rims of the bogies, and I have holes, and that's all, you know. And we have the two bogies over here just with the wheels removed. Now, two issues with the bogies. First issue, which is clearly my mistake, but anyway, for video reasons, I haven't found a way in part 4 to not to glue these in place, you know, not to attach the tube. I should have attached it after painting, but anyway, this is a problem that is going to concern me later. I'm gonna find a way around it. And second issue, which I didn't know that it was an issue, but a guy pointed it out, not as an issue, as an advice, and I am really thankful to him. So first of all, where did I found this guy? I found this guy to the Armor Alarm Facebook group. For anyone interested, I will probably add a link to the Facebook group page in the description below. Please guys, feel free to check it out if you are interested. Anyway, I posted there the completed bogies, and one of the guys that's on the page stated that after he saw my video, of course, which I am thankful for that as well, he pointed out that these little things that right now I am shaking should be in open position. You know, when I say in open position, they should be all the way here, all the way out here, you know, in order to deploy it as a bogey that has completed its job, you know, as I think that you know, it has to be open. That's why he saw reenactors do that, you know, in an actual Flak, so he modeled it that way. I am going to share his photo that he shared to me to explain me exactly what he meant, so you can have an idea. So if you wanna depict a Flak 88 like me in a firing position, keep an eye out for that. I tried to remove the bogies, you know, these rods from this side. It is possible, but right now, or at this side, it is not possible without breaking anything, to be honest with you guys. So I am currently going to leave it as it is, because as I've said, I have tried to cut them loose, but nope, that's not an option. I am definitely going to break something. So this is our first mistake for this build, our first actual mistake. Anyway, I am okay with that. Now I know clearly in the instructions, is not stated anywhere, and as I've said, now I know. If I can, I will try to remove them again and reposition them in the right way when I feel a little bit more confident, but until then they're gonna remain as they are. And Mark was his name. Thank you, Mark, for giving me the info. I am really glad about it. And if any one of you guys has any constructive criticism or any info like Mark, feel free to share it with me. Of course, feel free to tell me in the comment section below, or whenever you encounter one of my posts. So we have those two, and we have also some other pieces. We have this part that goes onto the gun assembly itself. We have this part, which is clearly the piece of the gun bridge. We have this part, which is a piece of the gun locking mechanism, the travel lock mechanism, and we have one of the gun operation seats, the gun operational seats. Anyway, a seat, a chair. That's how I'm gonna name it. These all are the individual components that are sitting on my bench right now. So there is nothing else for me to say. There is no more excuses. I will have to start painting instantly. Well, this proceeded better than I expected. I have to tell you that I was not eager to paint this thing at all by brush, because I thought that it would be a hectic procedure, mainly due to the detailed parts, but luckily I have put some good videos in the background, good YouTube videos in the background, and proceeded. And here is where we are at the time being. I have base coated everything in Vallejo's Panzer Dark Grey 71056, and the only other color that I have added, just for, you know, differentiation, you probably won't be able to see it, is this rust color over here at the leaf springs, which is none other than Vallejo Panzer Aces Light Rust, and the label is long gone. I think that it is either 305, 304 or 306. Now, what else I have done off camera is just to mask off the tubing, you know, here, the tubing that it is reeled around here, and I am ready now for the next step. What is the next step, you may ask? The next step is to once again break it in pieces. Break it in pieces, you know. Mount those pieces to a block of styrofoam or whatever you have, and spray paint them with hairspray. Now, before I do that, because I've almost forgot, let me give you a closer look of each of the parts. Here is how. Let's start from the easy parts first. Unorganized and without a plan. Now this dark grey looks a little bit darker due to my camera and the lighting I have in the room. Here is the wheels of the bogies. Let's leave them aside. Next up we have one bogie, the front bogie, that it is connected to the vehicle, of course, and I have left the cushion of the seat unpainted, because this one will be detail painted later on. So we have one bogie here, the other bogie is here. This is how it looks. And finally, here we have the boomstick, the 88, and this is how this one looks as well. So, as I was saying, my next step is to break it in pieces, do that, exactly that, what I did right now. Mount those pieces on something to keep them steady, and do the hairspray stage. And now for the hairspray stage, I don't use a particular hairspray. I use whatever my wife has in stock. I use whatever my wife uses, because it doesn't matter for me. What it matters for me right now is to give a liberal coat of hairspray. You know, I'm not gonna give it just one coat. I'm gonna give it multiple coats, but I will make sure that every, and I mean every, surface is evenly and liberally covered with hairspray. I'm gonna tell you that this thing will smell hairspray for days. Why do I do that? I mean, why I apply liberal coats of hairspray? Because I wanna be sure that the next step will be successful. And just for video sakes, I don't know why, but I opted to coat one of the bogies in front of the camera with hairspray, just to show you what I mean good coverage. So let's zoom out a bit. This is today's choice, guys. It says that it is extra strong, so I am to believe it. They know better than I do. So let's start. Give it a good shake first and go. Be sure that you cover every nook and cranny of the subject that you are working on, and that was it. As you can see, it is all shiny and smelly right now, and I will have to wait for it to dry completely. I think that this step is successful. The better the coat, the easier, and the better the effect of whitewash will be later on. Now let me show you the rest of the parts. Let me show you anyway. Boom. Let's stick this to place. And there is everything all coated and painted in place. Another thing I wanted to talk about is this. Let me show. Give me a moment to show you. Where I have put it. Oh yeah. So, especially for the guys that are located in Europe, Lidl supermarket sells this stuff for about 5 to 6 euro. It is 80 of these in a box. Boom. For 5 to 6 euro, you get an assortment. You get a nice box with 80 of these, and you can mount everything you wish, like I did over here with bamboo skewers and this stuff. So keep an eye out for that if you happen to find yourselves in a Lidl supermarket. That's a nice grab. So what's left for me to do is patience, so I can move on to the next step. Next step, of course, will be to apply the whitewash camo. And for me, that I don't have a painting station right now, because I have a compressor and I have an airbrush in hand, but I don't have a dedicated painted station. I will, and that's a promise. For me, I am going to do the whitewash with the use of rattle can sprays, which is going to be a little bit different than the usual thing you guys see from the other YouTubers or other guys that do whitewash. I am going to explain what's the difference as I will proceed with that step. Anyway, I am going to wait for this thing to dry completely, for everything to dry completely, and I am going to give everything a coat of white paint with my rattle can spray. I'm not gonna give it an even coat because I wanna chip it. I am just gonna give it a mist coat. That's how I am going to name it. I know that you can't imagine what I am talking about, but you will see. Okay guys, we have spray painted everything with white paint. As you can see, we had a minor setback. I miscalculated, to be honest with you, and I thought that my preferred rattle can spray had enough to do the job, and unfortunately looks like it didn't have enough. Luckily, I was able to borrow one from the brother of my wife, who also uses rattle cans, but for different reasons. But unfortunately, that one came from a hardware store, which means that its nozzle was a bigger one. You know, when I say bigger one, you understand when I say I want to say that it throws paint on top of a subject like crazy, which which instantly translate that I had to give the subject a good coat in order to level the paint out, in order to have a smooth surface and not a blotchy mess. So, as I've said, I have done this with rattle cans. I have another method in my mind, but the 88 is not suitable for that method. I have another idea for applying winter wash camo. I will try that in future in another subject more suitable, so you can so I can tell you the results. But anyway, we're gonna work this thing out. Here is how it looks right now. That's a good coat of paint, to be honest with you guys. And that was the gun. Let's take a look at the bogey. And let's take a look at the base. I can see that it is not evenly covered here. I don't care, this won't be visible so much. And I can see that it is not evenly coated here. I don't care as well, because I'm gonna fade the majority of the paint over here, because that's the place that the 88 stood, you know, that gets sink in the mud or in ground, so we don't care so much about it. And over here we have the road wheels. Of course, I have done some tests over here, you know. I have started to fade paint, chip paint off. And now what I am going to do, I am going to try to chip and fade the paint. This will take time. This will require patience, mainly because of my issue with rattle can spray. But I have patience, and I am more persistent than that thing, and I will try to fade it as good as I can. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab a jar of water. I'm gonna lay a paper towel on top of my bench. I am going to grab a stiff brush. Let me see where I have put that brush. Where did that brush go? Oh yeah. I'm gonna use a stiff brush, as you can see, and I am going to dip it in water, apply, give a liberal coat of water onto the surface, wait for a few seconds or a minute or so, and then I am going to start fading away the paint, and this will lead to the first stages of a winter whitewash camo. Okay guys, late night update, and things went as I expected. What I wanna say with that, it was a total struggle to chip and fade the paint this much, and believe me, it is not a lot. Let me give you a closer look. So let's start from the easy parts first. Here are the road wheels and how they currently look. I am happy with them because they worked like a charm, except this one, in which I did fade the paint excessively, but that's okay. So this is the last bogey that I attempted to fade the paint. As you can see, I was really tired and I didn't do much. I just faded it a little bit. I didn't have the patience to go overboard like the other one, but it is what it is. I prefer to fade it a little bit than not fade it at all. So let's leave this aside as well. And here is the first bogey. This one is a little bit more, tarnished, etc, etc. As you can see, I have also painted the operator seat, whatever kind of chair this is over here. Paint hasn't still dried yet, so I'm gonna leave this aside. And let's take the 88 out of the base so you can have a closer look. Here is how the base is looking. Okay, I'm really happy. All the edges are have some wear and tear, not so much, but not a few. This is a good outcome. And here is the gun itself. So on the gun I did some fading on the gun barrel, and onto the shield I didn't move forward over here at the back because no, I'm not gonna start fighting with a stiff brass and all that detail pieces. Not gonna happen. I would knock the majority of the parts off of it. So this is going to stay as it is. Probably some dark wash will help me to do some weathering over here to improve the situation. Now, what I have used an assortment of stiff brushes that they are now long dead, like this one. I have used cocktail sticks. I have used sandpaper. Yep, sandpapers. I have used whatever I had with a grit to reach this stage. Now, why did I fail? Because I see it as a failure right now. Mainly because I had something else, something more, a bit excessive, more excessive fading. In my mind, this is a failure because the coat of whitewash was a lot. I applied it heavily because I couldn't do anything else, and that's why it didn't chip or faded as I wished. But it is still good enough. I'm not gonna abandon the build, even though I am not happy. Today, I am not happy. Who knows, tomorrow I may find, you know, the patience to do a little bit more of fading and chipping, but for the time being, this is it, and I am 70% happy with it. You know, it kinda bugs me that I haven't achieved what I had in mind. But anyway, we're gonna proceed. It is still it looks faded. It looks a little bit tarnished. It looks like the whitewash was sloppily applied onto it. Now, what's my next course of action? My next course of action will be to detail paint the rest of the stuff, you know, like detail paint seats, various gauges that are located all around the 88 that you won't be able to see because they are small right now. And then I am going to check my footage to see at exactly what point we are. I may separate this video from the weathering stage. Not that I'm gonna go overboard with weathering, but anyway, we will probably separate the video into sections. You know, painting section, which is this one you see, and weathering section, which will probably be the one that you will see probably on the next episode. So that's how stuff looks. Please let me know your opinion, even if it is not good, it is still an opinion. You know, shit like that happens all the time. That means that doesn't mean that we are gonna abandon a build because a step didn't go exactly as planned. So I checked my footage and let's make a video under an hour, I think, for once in our life. And with all that said and done, we have made it to the end of this episode. On our next episode, we will probably finish with a detail painting of the 88 and do some slight weathering. That's my plan. That's my plan for the time being, at least. I hope that you guys found this video helpful and interesting and stick along for the next one. Before I go, I want to thank each and every one of you guys that watched this video. A special thank you to all my subscribers, old and new ones. You guys are the best and you are the reason I keep doing these videos. Now, for the newcomers out there that encounter one of my videos for the first time, welcome guys. I hope that you like what I do. If so, you all know what to do. Leave a like, comment with your thoughts and opinions, share the video if you believe it deserves to be shared, or even consider subscribing for more builds to come your way. Until the next time, fellow modelers and friends, take care and model on. It was that Mofo Demon, signing out.